Good morning, parents, students, special guests. Today is our final day of recognizing our awards. We will continue this morning with our club activities and then a few final statements. Cougar Chronicle with Miss Lanchak. Editor Joseph Dye, Assistant Editor Molly Olivas. Cougar Crew with Miss Holstein. President Lily McDaniel. Vice President Rodrigo Gallegos Oliveras. Historian Matthew Jackson. Drama Club with Miss Chittum. President Rose Drinkworth. Vice President Madison Hickey. Secretary Ava Gabriel. The Ellis Middle School Tech Team with Mr. Wilson, Lola Cunningham, Abigail Fuquay, Asher Owens, and Campbell Ty. The Environment Club with Miss Chittum, President Ava Gabriel. The Fellowship of Christian Athlete Officers with Mr. Watson and Mrs. Brewer. Officers Parker Berry, Ryan Bertotti, Kinley Klein, Lola Cunningham, Hudson Gill, Caroline Hall, Jacob Murphy, Evan Nassari, Joshua Sarton, Skylar Sons, Shelby Stamper, Addison Swindle, and Anna Grace Tabor. The Geography Club with Mrs. Kaysen, Mrs. Goodman, and Miss Brownfield. President Jordan Elam, Vice President Alexandria Eno. The National Junior Honor Society with Mr. Wilson and Mrs. Fitzpatrick. President Morgan Thompson, Vice President Tion Tate, and Secretary Jackson Agustin. The National Junior Honor Society Superior Service Hours with Mr. Wilson and Mrs. Fitzpatrick. Kane DeSalvio with 103 volunteer hours, and Ariana Rose with 122 volunteer hours. Student Council with Mrs. Craig, Mrs. Jennings, and Mr. Johnson. President Sean Cochran, Vice President Lola Cunningham, Secretary Ava Gabriel, Treasurer Kendall Meadows. Writing Club with Miss Kaysen and Miss Swinger. President Genevieve Blimker, Vice President Lily McDaniel. Yearbook Staff with Mrs. Craig and Mrs. Goodman. Stavante Baker, Skylar Beasley, Reagan Boyer, Tamaya Carpenter, Kathleen Connor, Lola Cunningham, Cameron Davenport, Addison Duffer, Brianna Earls, Bailey Edmonds, Emerson Elrod, Catherine Granlenard, Liv Greenwell, Marley Hellman, Annabelle Hypes, Allison Jones, Addison Jordan, Josie Lawrence, Catherine Long, Lily McDaniel, Lucy Sherba, Skylar Sons, Ella Stallhut, Allie Steele, Kaylee Taylor, Devin Thompson, Bella Ulry, Shruti Vinay, and Dorothy Watterson. Now for contests and competitions. The math team with Mrs. Cox and Mrs. Amanda Swinger. 6th grade, Kyla Barrett, Miles Bertotti, Gray Brisson, Alexandria Eno, Jayliana Kenko, Nolan Lazier, Blake Llewellyn, Zev Whiston. 7th grade, Jacob Atkins, Cameron Creel, Liliana Daniel, Cadence Nick, Brody Morgan, Luke Salinas, Paul Singelin, Oliver Timko. 8th grade, Genevieve Blimker, Hope Butler, Sean Cochran, Kane DeSavio, William Edwards, William Masters, Marley Morris, and Joshua Sarton. The Ellis Middle School National Geography Bee with Mrs. Kaysen, 1st place, Oliver Cunningham. The Ellis Middle School Spelling Bee with Miss Bratcher, First place, Grant Seeger. Mid-State Band with Mr. Seeger, Matthew Bailey, Hope Butler, Joseph Dye, William Edwards, Carson Hatcher, Mason Lilly, Renee Moore, Tion Tate, Noah Thomas, and Conrad Wilson. Mid-State Jazz Band with Mr. Seeger, Matthew Bailey, Tion Tate, and Conrad Wilson. All-County Band with Mr. Seeger, Jackson Agustin, Matthew Anglin, Matthew Bailey, Joseph Dye, William Edwards, Cynthia Garcia, Carson Hatcher, Alec Henderson, Ella Holterman, Mason Lilly, Renee Moore, Brody Morgan, Grant Seeger, Roxanne Stecker, Tion Tate, Noah Thomas, and Conrad Wilson. Mid-State Orchestra with Mrs. Smith, Elvis Duarte, violin, Sylvia Rapp, cello. The Duke University Talent Search and State Recognition with Mr. Bergner, Liliana Daniel, Grant Seeger, and Oliver Timko. Parents, students, special guests, this concludes our 2020 awards ceremony. But before we exit for today's ceremony, I'd like to express appreciation to all those who contributed to the success of our students, our parents, our teachers, our school staff, other community leaders. You played an essential role in these achievements. So thank you for supporting our students. Have a great summer, and we look forward to another exceptional school year for 2020 and 2021. Thank you.